Hi everyone, welcome to Natural Wonders. My name is Michael Munton and I'm going to do a really cool painting for you today. It's going to be a lovely mountain scene with a really nice lake. So I'm looking forward to doing this one for you all. I'm going to run the colours across the screen that you're all going to need to paint this painting with me. And I look forward to getting stuck in. I'll see you all soon. Right, so I'm just going to mix of blue for the sky area now. So I'm just going to use some phthalo blue. Small amounts, phthalo blue. I'm going to use a small amount of alizarin crimson into that, so it's not quite as blue. There we go, something about like that. And then I'm going to put a bit of black, smallest amount of black to that colour as well, just in there. So just to check it out, I'm going to grab some titanium white and I'm going to mix it with that colour. They don't want to be very dark. There. Now that is the colour. Got a lot of paint on this brush, so I'm just going to tap it out like so. But that is the colour that I'm wanting for this sky. So I can just get that colour in there first of all. Just using crisscross strokes in the sky. The light area is just down here, and the light's coming from left to right. So it wants to be predominantly darker on this right hand side of the sky, and it will get lighter as it mixes with the liquid white, just as we want. Now I don't want this colour to be very dark, I want it to be quite light, so I'm just going to put some in quite wispy. I'm going to come back with a clean brush, a totally clean brush. Be gentle in there, don't put loads of colour in that part. It's lightest part of painting in there, it's not as much of a problem. You do need that in. And the more you blend, the more it'll mix with the liquid white that you've got on there. So slightly lighter towards the left. There. Love it. Now there's quite a bit of light on the horizon of this, so I'm going to keep it quite light just there with that, and then I can simply use a clean brush, just blend that out. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come over in here and just soften that and blend it out. A little bit of something there. Hair. I'm going to blend that out in there. Really light on the horizon, just in there, the tiniest amount of colour. And then you can go into this side and start at the bottom of the sky, blending that out with crisscross strokes, because it is, like I said, quite a light sky, and the more you blend this, the more it will mix with the liquid white. Blend that darker colour through there. Blend into there as well quite a bit. So I want this to be quite soft and subtle, you see. There, that's lovely. So we've got a nice graduation from as dark down to as light there. Blend that colour down slightly. And again I can use a clean brush just for in this area. Something about like that. Now I know that the sky has actually got a bit of shadow just in this area here. So what I'll do is I'll just come down slightly lower, just a little bit lower with that, and then I'll just vanish off. There, so I get my big brush again. Come back into that, soften it all off, and just blend into that softly, like a long stringy cloud. It's giving depth and distance to the sky slightly. There. Just blend over that nice and soft. Very, very beautiful, subtle sky that I'm doing today. Now, I'm just going to use a filbert brush. And with that filbert brush I'm just going to get a bit of white and a small amount of that colour to the white, just in there on the brush, and then just over in here, that might be too light, yes, a bit more of the dark onto that. Just over in here we've got a couple of really soft little clouds that are quite wispy, just in there. That's it, but it is really quite soft. So I'm just going to put the colour in first. And one there, and one above. Just in there. Yeah, like I said, they're quite wispy clouds of these. Don't want to make too much of them. And we'll just put that colour in and then come back with a clean brush and just blend that out softly. I want that to be soft. Just a few little soft clouds in there. Maybe another one just up in here. And just moving side to side, allowing the canvas to take off the colour that it wants. That's it. And what you're left with will be just enough to give you that lovely soft image for that cloud. Actually settle that down a bit slightly. You can still go in over them, you see. Once you've blended them out, you can change the shape, anything. I might even blend that to that slightly, yeah. That's nice. Very gently go over that, all of it. Just make it soft, very soft. Right, that's looking okay. Now I'm just going to come down, and I've got a bit of this blue on here. I want to check it just to see how dark it is, and then just over in here I'm going to put a subtle amount of that colour coming from that side. See this? Just in there. Dirty. Any dirty colour you can blend down there on your canvas. This is very subtle, so I hope it's standing out to you all. Just a little bit of something in there, and above that can all just be blended soft, because that's the lightest area in the sky. It's nice sometimes when you see it, just noticed it there, just there's a bit lighter, and I want it predominantly darker in this corner, so I can just go into that and just blend a bit more colour in there. Again, I'll come back to a clean brush, cleanish blender brush, and just blend it with a blender. That's better. Much happier with that. And there's no problem, you can always keep going back into these. If you see something you just want to change slightly, I want that to come up to there, and then you can just gently come back and blend over that. Really soft. So with that same colour just in there, really far back in the background, just I'd say we're going to have these cliffs and stuff in this area, so I'd say this is going to come from about here. So where I started that colour before, I can use some of this. I want it to be a bit darker. It's a thin little wispy cloud coming through there. Getting a bit of colour on there for it first, and then we can use a big blender brush. Now that actually comes right through and into the mountain area that we were doing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint it right through, so it's just not even there, that mountain that I've done. So it's not going to be there, and then it will stand out behind. So this is just a little stringy cloud that's following on from this, and it actually comes right out of the other edge of the mountain as well, just there. So it's going right through behind it like so, and then come back to a bigger brush, and I can just soften that and blend over that That's it, perfect. Perfect. Really soft, subtle sky, so I'm just going to use a palette knife now, and I'm going to grab some of that colour that I mixed up from before, the exact same mountain colour, sky colour, sorry. I'm just going to use it on the knife and cut a little, across it a little bit like so, on the knife, and then just up in here, you've got our cliff coming up, and then comes down slightly, so it goes up, and then a little drop there. Now this actually comes and runs its way right down, so I'm just using the knife to mark off the top edge. Just at the moment, underneath I couldn't really care less. That's it. Now over in this side, there's quite a few little shapes and stuff going on. You can come back with a small part of the knife sometimes, but any little detail that you're wanting to do, like that. That's it. So I wanted it. Get another little roll of paint on the knife, and that actually starts to go up a little bit again. Gets smaller as it goes over this way, so I've got quite a little dip going on in there. That's lovely. Only a thin strip is this. It's not going to be really that large. It's going to be about, let's say, I'll just give myself an indication by running the knife through like so, and slightly towards us, just at this point, to about there, and then it runs right through. We've got a little lake just in there. It looks like a little lake, but it's not. It's actually a tributary that comes from the ocean. So I'm just running that through. It's going to be around that area where you can see the little bit of sea coming through. It's not a sea actually, it's a lake. Big huge lake. So use that same colour, and you're just blocking in now basically some of this blue tone. For background mountains and all of that kind of thing, this is great. Now I've got some little mountains that I'm going to be just behind. Could have done them first, but I want to be able to judge. Now it's going to be easy for me to judge. I mean, if I destroy any of this, it's easy enough to fix. It's not a problem. That doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It's just nice to get some of that colour in, and as a general rule, follow that edge, that line that you've done. I'll come back with a brush. I'm just blocking the colour in first with the knife. Going to be a winter scene. Is this when it's all finished? Now, this actually comes through and as it's coming through it actually rises just slightly about there, so we'll do that. I like using these big knives, but some people prefer to use the other shovel knives, and I still use them now and again, but very rare, because I find I can do more things just with this one knife. There's not much that you can't do with this knife. I showed you on the last demo how to draw with the knife, and this is exactly what I'm doing here again, just a little bit different. So that colour comes into there. You can even pick colour up from over in here. If you get a bit too much, you can pick that colour up and use it over there. By having your knife more upright, it allows you to pick the paint up off of the canvas, and then you can go back here and lower the knife and it will paint for you again. And we'll fill all this in. I've actually run out of paint now, but I know that there's enough paint on the canvas over in here to be able to just scrape that out, the excess paint, and it'll actually help you later on as well, because when you blend this you won't have tons of paint to go over again. With wet on wet, I try to avoid having too much paint on if I'm going to be going over it again, so this is a good way of doing that. And then it's going to disappear off basically on this end, right over in here. There's going to be some trees and stuff in there. There, we're just going to use a fan brush now. Painted all that area in. I'm just going to use a fan brush to mix this colour with the liquid white basically. So first of all I'm just going to blend across the waterline, just in there. I don't want too much paint there. You can blend that right to that side, and then just up in here you can start coming up. Make sure that your bristles aren't all going all over the place, because your bristles will end up in your sky and end up with little lines that you don't want. There, just blend that out basically. Really simple. Put it in with the knife, come back and blend it out. It's a really easy way of doing this. I'm going to be coming back and putting detail and a bit more dark actually into this, but not much more, because this is in the back middle ground. Just wanted to get it in there basically first of all. There we go. Nice even spread of paint. Anywhere where your tops want sorting out, you can just go up and neaten it off. Right, so I've got the blue, which I used before. All the difference is a little bit less white in with it. Just a little bit less white in there. Now with that, I want a big body of water in, but I know there's a big hill coming down here, you see. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mark out first of all that hill, where it's going to go. In fact, it's going to come out to about there actually. Yeah, that's about right. So in here, just in this bottom edge, I'm going to paint in some of this dark bluey colour, because what happens is it starts off down in here really dark and then gets lighter and lighter the closer to the land it gets, but it's still pretty dark as this water. Good and dark colour. I mixed up a load with the knife, a load of that colour, so that I could I could do this without having to worry about getting it on straight away really fast, and blend that in with these vertical strokes side to side, just in there, just like this. Nice and blended in, and then same over in here all the way up. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to allow that colour to mix more. I'm going to run out of colour first by blending all that out nice, and when I start running out of colour, I'm going to just come up into this light area and be a bit more gentle, and that'll allow it to mix a bit more with the liquid white. See that? Instantly it will become lighter because it's mixing with this liquid white that we've got up on here. Now this actually comes right through. Remember I said it follows through into here, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that light colour just in there on the water's edge. Still relatively dark is this water, but it's definitely lighter towards the water's edge. There. So I'll put all that in, and then I'll just come back and blend right over that. There. Because I don't want it to be too distinct. The light is coming from this side, so this water is slightly lighter in there where you can see that. So I'm going to leave that pretty light. It's only going to be a little bit of it showing in there, you see. That's good. Right, so I'm going to use this colour now. I'm going to actually blend this darker colour up into this. So I'm just touching the darker colour that I put in below. I'm going to come right up into that. Like I said, it's quite a dark lake, and already you'll be getting little indications of things going on in there. Come right underneath that with a bit more colour. There, that's it. There, that's great. Now I've got some black out here. I'm going to mix that black with that colour, and then just in the very bottom part we're going to use that really dark black colour down into there, and allow that to blend up gently into that. With this darker factors colour. Don't have to get it perfect first time, because I like to go back anyway with the knife. Just get it somewhere near what you're wanting. I know it goes off in the distance slightly in there. Run out of colour a bit. Right, so use the opposite side. Just make it that tiny bit dark on that bottom edge, and then blend that up. Same in there. Just break that line up so it's not just a solid line at the top. Make that area a bit darker. See how I come down a bit too low just there? I'll show you how easy it is to get that back. I'm not really bothered about that. I just want to get it, some of this dark in there. Even up in there sometimes I want a bit more of the dark. There's some lovely areas where we're going to have snow on this as well. Same in here, just going to go up along. Keep reloading your brush, and when I do it, I load the brush to a chiseled edge, sharp point, and that gives you this lovely, this way of doing these lovely edges. I wanted it to be predominantly darker in there. There's going to be some snow on this, as I said before. It's going to be a lovely one. Really enjoying doing this picture. It was sent to me by a good friend called Patrick, a subscriber, and they wanted to see if I would do it for him and paint it, and there we go. It's a really nice scene. I will find out from him where it is very soon. I'm not sure of the name of the place. Just know it's a really nice spot. These mountains, and I have some mountains just behind. Normally I'd paint them in first, but they were going to be a bit too awkward. Right, a bit of dark just in there, the bottom of that, going up into there. I'm just scrubbing a bit of this dark in for now. In all the areas where it's going to need some of that darker tone, I'm scrubbing that in. And then, like under this rock, there'll be some snow. And in the lighter areas, that's where I'll put the snow. There we go. It's nice. Even up in them parts now and again. Again, a bit more dark. Sometimes I have to go over it 2 or 3 times, you know, to get it as dark as you really want it to be. I know there's a lot of snow up in here, so I'm just going to put a few little shadow colours in, and then that'll mix and stand out underneath still. There's quite a lot of broken snow on this. Mush it in there. More dark just in there. Try and balance things out basically. Right. Now, as I said before, you don't need to worry about this waterline. What I'll do, I'll just probably come from this side and just run the knife through. I like to actually run it backwards and forwards when I'm doing it like so. There. It's a real place that I'm actually painting here, so I'm really trying to get myself in the zone, you know, for this place, as though we're actually there myself. It's the way I work. I try to visualise that I'm actually there. Just going to go over that top bit a bit of shadow in that, and it's still got a bit of shadow actually coming through over into here. Where it's a bit darker. You need some patience for stuff like this when you're painting from real life. Patience is the key, but the buzz you get from doing it makes it well worthwhile. The more you challenge yourself in life, the better the feeling once you actually accomplish your challenge. These are the things that really inspire me, you see. The real places. I love to paint from my imagination now and again, and that's fine, but mainly I like to paint real places. That's what really gets me going. That's what I really enjoy. Right, that's a good stage now. Now we've got a little mountain that's just in the background, so I'm going to use some titanium white. Straight titanium white with this brush that's dirty, and what that does, it'll pick up the colour that's underneath. And then just here and there we've got some little snowy parts. I'm just going to come down and mark out where this little snowy area is. I know it's somewhere about in there. And it comes along and it nearly knocks out the top, just in there. So I'll bring that through, and then it continues on underneath. See, I'm not worrying about the bottom at the moment, that's irrelevant. There. Now I can blend underneath, just here and there. And then leave a few areas totally clear. And this is quite wide in here, so sometimes you might have to go over it a couple of times. It's going to mix with that colour underneath. Now this colour should be perfect for that mountain in the background. So just up in here, behind these, there it is. In fact, I might just do my best to get rid of that edge first. We'll come up in there with that and put this little mountain in. And by picking up a bit of that colour sometimes that'll work. Just a bit there, you don't want a lot. See that? And it just wants to have a small little blue hue to it. So a little blue hue. So just over in here, you touch some of that. And then I need an area that comes up and joins onto that. There we go. That's it. Now on this mountain in the background there is a bit of snow. So first of all I'll just block it in slightly. I'll use that to rest my hand. I'm just putting the dark in. That's spot on. Actually another little peak just there as well. But this is quite a distance away. Now on that I'm just going to put some snow. In fact, before I get too carried away, just over here I have another which is coming from behind it again, just up in there and then down and vanishing. A bit darker that one. Quite a bit darker. Now we'll go back to the clean white, both sides, and I will just touch gently on there, and it will mix slightly with the colour that's on there, and it'll just look like little bits of snow. Same up in here, straight line. Need quite a bit of paint, and then just I touch it first, just want to get a bit in. Wipe it all off of your brush, so you've got a clean brush, and then you can just play with that. indication of some snow in there. Far, far away. Far, far away. Right, that's great. Now we'll get that dark colour again, which I was using. Bluey lavender with a bit of black in it. And then for this edge again here, for this closer mountain, I just come back through as though it's not even there, that mountain. And it'll sort that out. A few shadows down in there. And then same over this side. Come right underneath it. And now they look like they're behind, really far away. Just little tiny mountains. Love it. Right, I'm just coming back to my white again. Titanium white. And then just under here we've got a little snow drift. So there's some snow just under that. And then it disappears off into oblivion. Got a bit of snow just coming down into there slightly. It actually comes right through from there. That's it. Now with some of this I just want to tap just in here. See, that's some little bits of snow drift going on. Be nice and loose with it. All I want is the definition between the lights and the darks. You can always make it darker, you can never make it lighter again. But you can, but it takes a lot more effort. Just on the water's edge, I've noticed there's like some little areas where the snow's just going up the side, like so. I'll just put a few of them in on the edge. Quite a lot actually, all the way along. I'm just using a filbert brush, that's it. I want it to stay pretty dark in there, so we'll just have a couple of little snowy parts. There's a bit of snow in there as well. Now over on this top ridge, I'm just going to put some more white in and tap down there a bit, as though there's a few stands of trees going down and just the snow in between them. Now that top edge actually I can put back in again now. It comes right up to there and then right back down again. Again, I want that to disappear off, so I'm just going to tap around it into the shadows there, and it'll just gently underneath make it look like little rocks and stuff down in there, loads of little trees. A lot going on with this. And it gets darker as it goes over this way, so we see less of the snow. There's some areas where you see a little bit of snow just in there. Some water car's edge. Here and there, make the white a little bit more distinct. You want to put some more darks back in again, you see, as well, into the shadows, just here and there. I'm going to use a palette knife as well in certain parts, but for now I'm just trying to get a bit of this colour in. Now this actually along here now has got white on the top, a lot of white on the top edge. Blend that in, just tap underneath it slightly on that side. And just leaves little details and all sorts of little things going on in there. Start again in there. Now, I'm just going to have a go with my knife and have a little play with that. So, just in here, just going to touch it gently and let it break. Just on here. You hold the knife so flat that I always put my finger in my water, but that's not a problem, don't worry about that. That's easy to remedy. Using the knife is all about angles and being very, very delicate, allowing the canvas to just take off what it wants, and don't rush it. If you don't get it the first time, don't worry about it, try again. Gently come over it. If you get too much on there, you can actually scrape it off and start again. Every time it's practice and you've learned something, and that's the key thing, that's what really matters. You're doing this to learn. Once you've learned it, it's second nature to you, and you'll just adore it. And I can guarantee that not more addictive for me than my art, other than my girlfriend. Oh, that's great. Put a little bit down on water's edge around there. Same up in here. We've got some darker areas just in there. But where this white is, in fact I might just go to the small part now. Just brighten up certain spots. Up in there. Put a bit more paint. And the knife will allow you to do that. Same over in here. Just get a bit more paint in there. Nice one. Having a lot of fun with this. Run the knife right through again. Now, over this side we've got quite a bit more snow on it, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to just put a tiny bit in there. And then over in here, following the angle of the mountain as you come down, just follow that angle. That's good. And when you run out of paint, reload, fresh load. Pull it through a knife, through a paper towel, clean off, and you're good to go again basically. With the white. So just up in here, like I said, there's quite a lot going on. A lot of this snow. There's actually quite a lot of distance, really far away. You can hardly see them, but there's a lot of evergreen trees on this area. A lot of rocks, like a rock face. Sometimes on the bottom edge you can just touch a bit along the waterline. There's a bit in there. Great stuff. Right, just down in the water. Remember my little finger mark? Good thing about wet on wet. A razor made brush. Can't go wrong. Now I know I've got a couple of shade colours, just like a shaded white. Just over in here slightly, but there's not a lot of it. There really isn't a lot of it. First of all I'm just going to go in there, but there's quite a bit more snow. Put a few bits in there. Up against those darks. That's it. And then now I've run out of paint, I might try, might have just enough. That's it. Just put a bit on top of there. Just a little bit that you can see. So now I'll clean off the knife, use a small edge, and I'll just break that up so it's not got a line under it. And just a tiny bit of snow then just sitting on the top. Again, I use the knife so low in the water that I always end up touching it, but it's not a problem. Now with that shadowed colour and the white, just want to come over in here a bit. Very gentle. You can't put too much pressure on when you hold the knife with two fingers. So when I'm doing this, most of the time, I'm just holding it with the most gentlest touch, and then two fingers just in there, and just letting it just gently drag over the surface. I'll put a few little ones just in the background as well. Come back as well with a small part of the knife, and you can really play with that then. I want that to be quite shadowed, that snow just in there. Cool. Right, I've just got some of this darker colour now, mixed with the lavender, and just up in here I'm just going to actually touch it over. In fact, I use a small part of the knife with this. I really want to be careful. I want to just come into these areas and put a few little darker bits of stuff into the shadows. I'm not wanting to be too over the top with it. In fact, it's probably a bit too dark. Mix it up a bit more of a lighter colour. There. Try that now. That's better. Just leave areas where you've got that lovely snow and the shadows in between, the darker shadows. And here you can just touch a few in, just using the small part of the knife. It's really nice to work in these little areas with this small edge. You can get some real good details by using it. niggly indications in there. In the shadows is where you'll get this. There's a big shadow just in there, that putty. That's cool. And you get little ridges as well of rock, ridges of rock that run down the edge. And just put a few of them in. Nice. A few little bits of detail basically from this slightly darker colour. A few little bits in there. You have areas where there's a lot more snow and areas where there's more rock, and the shadows that you've left is where the darker colours want to go. Same in this edge, although there's going to be trees there, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll just focus more on these little areas. What I do like to do though is use a knife, and from about there, let's say, I'm going to run some of that dark in right on that edge. See that? There. Now that's just waterline. It's lighter over here because it's going further away from us, and then as it gets closer it gets slightly darker, as you can see on there. So just over on this side, let's actually run with a bit of liquid white and just give that an edge. And this darker colour will just run up to there and then disappear off. Use a small part of the knife where I just scraped it, run over it, and that rubs it out. That's good. Use a clean knife then, and when I come back it'll just touch enough of that colour, and I just want it to run out. There, that's fine. I actually slightly come underneath that with a clean knife. And just run that off. There, perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. Now, I'm going to get a bit of that darker colour still, and the knife, and just up in here, it's quite a bit darker, so I can put some of this in. Some bits of this darker colour. Could have put this in before, but I'm just working with detail now basically, so I'm not too fussed. Easily put it up in there at that angle. I should have waited to put that bit of snow in there, but I'm going to put a bit more snow in there anyway, so I'm not too fussed. There, just touch my water. Oh, what a big problem that is. Not. Just disappears. Right, get back to the knife. Nice good dark colour. And just reintegrating some of that dark back into there. Snow on top, so that don't go right to the top, otherwise you'll just lose your snow and you'll kill it, and I don't want you to do that. Nothing worse than having something there that you like and then going in and just destroying it. Right. Now again, back to my little filbert, both sides through white, and then just over there I'm going to run that through. That's cool. And you get a bit of the dark. And I'm just going to use some of that on this little filbert brush. I just want that to come out to about there. We need some little dark shadows in that area too. Just in here. Just use the filbert for that. Yeah, that's better. Dark's just coming through there, and then a little snug just at the side of it. Even in these areas, put a bit of that dark in. So not too much over there, I want it to stay relatively blue. Little bits just up on there where there's the stand of trees. Just pull up, put a bit of dark in and pull up. Just with the dark, put a little stand of trees that's going down the actual slope just there. And all you do is just put them in dark. These are miles away, so you can't make out individuals. Well, it's too far away for that. Love it. Really enjoying doing this one. It's something a bit different. Lovely picture. It's a lovely place, obviously, where I'm painting, which I will find out towards the end of the video. Few more of them shadows in, and I might go back to the knife and I can just pick out a few little areas up in here where I want to put some little shadows. Putting the shadows at the side of the snow that's at the bottom. Even up in here, use tiny bits with a knife and put some little details just in there, a few darker bits at the bottom. That's it. Might probably come back and put some more white back in again, but we'll see. Don't want to go too crazy. That's probably alright enough. Now we've got something in front of this. We've actually got a little protrusion if you want to call it. I'll just draw it out with the shadow colour first. And now, where I touch with my finger. Right, now with this brush, it's already dirty, I'm just going to go up in here. Now I need to leave an area of lake showing, so let's say just there. I want to see this bit of lake just in here, and then we've got this peninsula that comes up and rises up past all of this, flattens out a bit, and then it comes right back down again into the water. Angles are all important, and that comes out into the water somewhere to about there, and then I'm just going to paint the bottom edge, give it some more dark. So that is going through to there. That's great. Blend behind that first. We have some trees and all sorts going on in here, so now I want to make this slightly darker. Same colours I've used, just a bit more of the dark colours together, and then just in here, see that? You make it predominantly darker than what you've got behind. Put that in dark first, just in front of it, and it actually comes down to a really nice kilter. Steady myself a bit. It's important to get this correct. This is one of the things which will really make people who've been to this place say, oh yeah, I've been there, that's so and so place, and they'll recognise it. These little things that you look at, the angles. Now this angle here actually comes a bit less of an angle like so, and it actually does get darker than it is, so I'm just trying to darken this bit off first. Put my waterline in with the dark, a bit more dark. Love it. A lot of fun painting from real life. Just like this, it's great. Now there's some snow going to be on this, but I just want to indicate where that's going. About there, I would say. Nice. Don't want to bring it down any further because it's going to be covered up by trees, a lot of this. Right, I'm happy with it at that stage.